Hey guys, welcome back to another Azure gaming video, and today we're going to talk about new Vision LOUISE. We're going to talk about her TMR Vision card, STMR, normal form, brave shift form, how to build her, and should you pull for her. Alright, so let's go. Alright, so TMR, Super TMR is Corundum's suit. It gives 110 mag, 50% defense and spirit, and also boosts resistance to fire by 50%. So this is the best heavy armor for mag builds, highest magic for among heavy armor. It also gives a small amount of bulk with its 50% spirit, 50 flat spirit and defense. Really good on mages that can equip heavy armor and on LOUISE herself, since it activates her trust passive. It is slightly better than Golbez's armor, also a heavy armor that has high mag at 100, I think, and darkness resistance. Alright, so really good STMR, high flat mag, and has some defense and spirit. Okay, so Trustmaster reward is Corundum Blaster at base level. It gives 175 mag and also locked to fire, so take note of that. And this can only be equipped on LOUISE only. So it can also be enhanced when you farm the Challenge of the Brave and also get the recipe from her event. So at max level, it gives 235 attack, so that's really high. It's still locked at fire. It also gives LB damage 50% and also boost damage of certain abilities for LOUISE. So I think you can equip 2 of these on her and she will have her best weapons on her, if you can manage to get 2 copies of her. Alright, so this is the best gun in terms of pure mag stat when fully upgraded. 235 is the highest magic gun in the game. It's also best in slot for LOUISE, and it'll allow her to take advantage of her gun and barrel, which is 35%. Equip her with 2 of these and you're good to go. Only she can equip it though, which is a bummer since it's a really nice gun or / weapon. This video is sponsored by Amazon Coins. Get 10,000 Amazon coins for $80 instead of $100. That's a savings of 20%. You can use the Amazon coins to buy Lapis for FFBE. I placed a link in the description below. Check it out after you watch the video. Okay, so Vision card, a crimson colored light. At max level, it gives magic 115. It also gives 50% unconditional mag passive and also LB gauge 5 per turn. Also boosts LB damage by 50% only if the unit is an FFB unit. So it has the highest flat magic in the game at 115. 50% unconditional mag passive, 5% auto, 5 auto LB and 50% LB damage. Really nice. All magic damage dealers, especially FFBE LB damage dealers, can benefit from this Vision card. So this will be the best Vision card for mages for a while, since it gives 5 flat mag more than the next Vision card. Also the 50% unconditional magic is really nice. LB damage also for FFB units. Okay, so normal form, LOUISE has true brave shift, so meaning she can shift between 2 of her forms at will with no restrictions whatsoever. She is a support and debuffer in normal form. She has a single target 90% spirit debuff similar to Saber Soul's Lightnings, but it's a Magnus, 1 use only. She can also imbue herself and all allies with fire and apply an area effect that increases fire, physical, and magic damage by 25. This is on a 3-turn cooldown, available on turn 1. She can also quadcast all of her abilities. There's no need to unlock the quadcast, but she is stuck with quadcast though, no triple cast. Deal single target fire magic damage, so this is a physical attack that does magic damage. And it also does morale damage for the Clash of Wills at 420 modifier maximum. So it also fills the LB gauge 5 to 10 to all allies CWA chain. Alright, so she can quadcast that. Alright, she doesn't really do much damage in normal form, but she has access to this attacking skill. She can imperil fire resistance to one enemy by 135. It also buffs fire, physical, and magic damage by 20% to all allies, while she autocasts the ability again and gives herself 30% fire, physical, and magic damage. This, by the way, this stacks with the area effect, her first skill there. Fire damage buff. It also stacks with a couple Esper fire bonus abilities from Terra and Infernal Fire Rain. Alright, so she can buff all physical killers by 100% to herself. So all killers, all the races, 100% to herself. So Son can copy that so he can spread the killers to everyone. She can also apply 20% physical magic damage mitigation and 40% general mitigation to all allies. So that's really good. She gets more mitigation to herself though for via autocast of this ability. Alright, so she can also help your party survive, although a minimal amount of mitigation. She can also cure all stat breaks to all allies while increasing resistance to all stat breaks. The skill also increases her stats by 300% and removes all debuffs from her, I think for 2 turns, since this ability autocasts. And then she allows all allies to absorb fire damage for 1 turn, 1 use only. So if you're facing a threshold that has a fire element, you can cast this so your allies can survive it. Okay, so lastly, she can impel fire by 135%, 50% accuracy decrease, and 90% spirit debuff to 1 enemy for 3 turns. Sadly, 1 use only, so it'll last for 3 turns. By the time you cast this, the next 2 turns will be will have this effect. I think 3 turns, because it's on the enemy's turn. Alright, so effectively 3 turns of debuffs for the enemy. So that's really good, but it's only 1 use. Alright, so lastly, her normal form LB does magic damage again to all enemies. This time makes her absorb fire for 1 turn and boosts her LB damage by 150% for 5 turns. This does 11 hits, 60 LB for her LB. Alright, so this could be useful if you want to boost her LB damage, but her BS LB is better than her normal form LB. Since this one has low modifiers and also she doesn't have any LB damage passives in normal form. Alright, so passives here, she has already a maximum amount of mag true dual wield, so you don't need to equip her with any true dual wield gear. She has any true dual wield already maxed out chain cap modifier, so that's really good. Usually the latest units came with 500% LB damage, nothing. Mag at 190, so it's gonna be easy to cap her mag. HP, defense, and spirit at 50, and she has a lot of ailment resistances. Confuse, paralyze, blind, petrify, stop, and charm. So really good ailment resistances there. Elemental resistance is only 50% fire, but she does have a bunch of killers here. 200% if you have her trust passive activated. She also gets guts max 1 time. So 200% killers on a unit for all races is insane. So make sure to take note of that if you're deciding on whether or not to pull for LOUISE. Miscellaneous ability, she gets 10% MP refresh, 50% physical evade, and 50% magical evade. So really easy to build her for evasion builds. Magic evade is really high as well, and her normal attack will get changed to a physical damage, increased break damage, 500% for a gun to one enemy. So if you want to break the gauge of enemy with a break gauge that is weak to a gun, just hit normal attack with LOUISE and she will damage that break gauge. Alright, so LOUISE can also restore her HP by 15% of the amount of magic damage she deals. So amount of magic damage times 0.15, that's the amount of heal she's gonna get to herself. Really nice to keep her alive in battle. She also fills the morale gauge by 150 and apply a 3000 HP barrier to herself every turn. So every turn she is alive, she's gonna fill the morale gauge by 150 and also apply 3000 barrier to herself. She's gonna be really hard to kill. She's extremely bulky and easy to build for physical evasion. So build her with physical evasion. She has 30,000 HP barrier. She also absorbs 15% of magic, of the amount of magic as HP. So you're gonna be self-sustaining unit. She can also equip that heavy armor that has spirit and defense, which is gonna further increase her bulk. All right, so really good passives. She could use the LB damage if you want to use her LB. But I'm really satisfied, really happy with her normal form passives here, especially the 200% killers. Okay, so let's move on to Brave Shift form. Louise turns into a magic damage healer in Brave Shift form, so she's still a physical mage, meaning physical attack, physical type attack, but that does magic damage. She boasts higher base stats in this form, so if you want to do damage, use Brave Shift form. Her most hard-hitting attack, Nano Machine Overload level 5, goes up to 880 modifier maximum. You can quadcast that. Alright, so if your morale gauge is really high, she can hit really hard with Nano Machine Overload. It can only be single cast though, so sorry, it's not available for quad casting, but it is available for dual wielding. So if you dual wield, she will cast that twice. It also completely fills her LB gauge and boosts her LB damage by 200. So this is a good setup ability if you want to use her LB gauge. LB in ratio form. It also boosts her LB damage by 200. Alright, so for the next 2 turns, it can also be used 4 times per battle. So she can automatically fill her LB 4 times per battle. That's really good. Usually Magnus abilities last for 1 to 2 turns, but this one is 1 to 2 times. This one lasts 4 times. Alright, so she can still imbue herself and all allies with fire. She can still quadcast all of her abilities and deal single target fire magic damage and morale damage. So you can actually use her to fill your allies LB gauge if you want. You can quadcast that skill. So new skills are, she can deal single target magic damage and morale damage, 420 max, while applying a 5000 HP barrier to herself. Also part of her quadcast, this has Bolting Strike chains. So you can quadcast Bolting Strike. That's no problem. She can also deal single turret magic damage and morale damage, 580 max. It also impels gun by 35%, so really good. Chaos Wave Awaken chains. And then next attack is deal single turret magic damage and morale damage, 420 max again. And this one heals for 5000 HP and 60 MP. Absolute Zero chaining family. So if you want somebody to chain quad Absolute Zero, she can do that. So as you can see, she's really versatile. She can put up barriers and heal some HP and MP. If you quadcast that healing skill, it does 20,000 HP and 240, 6, 12, 18, 240 MP. Not bad for a damage healer. Lastly, she can debuff all stats by 80 to an enemy. So she's also a debuffer. While dealing dealing single target magic damage and morale damage up to 730 max CWA. This is on a 2-turn cooldown, so you can only use this every other turn, I think, or every 2 turns. Okay, so but she can do the break 80%, so she can maintain that, I think, indefinitely. Alright, so lastly, her LB has 100% physical accuracy, so your enemy cannot evade her LB. Does AoE magic damage 160 max, so it stacks, by the way, so I think it starts at 80 and maxes out at 160, similar to NV Zidane. It also increases the modifier for Nano Machine Overload level 5, all levels by 20. So it's gonna do more damage after using her LB. So this is one hit, 60 LB, so perfect for finishing a chain. This is gonna be really nice because of her buff. She has a buff of 200, I think. Let me see. Yep, alright, so her Magnus does LB damage by 200, also fills LB. So if you cast that and then cast her LB after that, you're gonna take advantage of the 200% LB damage buff. Really nice LB damage finisher. And take note, this is non-elemental, so you can imbue it with anything you want. If you don't want to use the fire element, you can imbue this with any element you want using an external imbuer, but you need to take note that her TMR is locked to fire, so you need to use another weapon on her. Okay, so best used with fire element. Okay, so here are her Brave Shift form passives. Actually, they're the same with her normal form, except for she does 70% more magic damage against broken enemies. Magic damage. And then her normal attack changes to magic damage 20 with 15 modifier per 5 morale boost above 100, so 320 max to one enemy. If she's dual wielding, she will cast this twice. It also increases LB gauge to herself by 10. Stardust Ray chaining. So similar weapons selection and armor as well, so she can equip a lot of weapons there, but her best weapon is a gun because she has the gun impel. Okay, so how do we build her? LOUISE already has cap, magic to dual wield, and chain cap modifier, so you're free to equip her with a focus on flat mag or mag percentage depending on your equipment, or LB damage if you want to use her LB in bracelet form. She's really easy to gear with lots of free slots for killers, survival, and utility materia. You can also gear her for physical evasion if you want, in place of those killers, since she already has a bunch of killers. Alright, so Corundum Blaster, her TMR, upgrade that. You can either put another Corundum Blaster on the second hand, or use the Peacekeeper Special ++, Physicist Event, I think. Or NV Physicist's STMR, if you have that, you can put that there. That's a gun with a high magic. Vivi's hat, a hat with high magic as well. Corundum's suit, her STMR, really good on her. If you have Gold Blizz's armor, it's also good. Cursed Doll for the high flat mag. Heal Your Light for the same reason. Abilities, it depends on you what you want there. If you're still lacking in mag passives, put a mag materia there. And some killers or utility or survival or LB damage. By the way, if you have her vision card equipped, you already have 50% LB damage there. If you have 2 of her TMR, that's already 100%, so 150% passive, from the equipment, and you only need 150 more from other sources, materia, or from equipment for on the body or in the hat or accessories. So really easy to gear, really loving how she's easy to gear. Alright, so should you pull? That's the main question here. So I'm gonna go on a rant and try to sell her to you. So LOUISE is an excellent unit for Clash of Wheels, obviously. She's been made for that. Most of her attacks benefit from a high morale gauge. She brings auto morale increase every turn, 150. But she lacks an active skill for boosting morale. So not like NV Elena and NV Ling. They have active skills, so they synergize with her. Well, they boost morale gauge using their active abilities. She boosts it passively, and she benefits from the higher morale gauge and has her modifiers increased. Alright, so outside of Clash of Wheels, you can use her as a magic LB damage healer. Like I said, her BSLB can be imbued with different elements outside of her own fire imbue if you're not equipping her TMR. Making her a flexible physical mage for your team. Physical mages, really nice. You also won't find it difficult to gear her for killers since she already has 200% all killers. She also can buff them by 100% more. She uses physical killer materia as well, making it even easier to gear her. You don't really need the specific magic materia for her for killers because she is a physical mage. One downside is she doesn't have any LB damage passives. 2 of her TMRs plus her vision card gives her 150 though, so it won't be much of an issue. Alright, so LOUISE has a lot of chaining families also, kind of like San. She can chain with Stardust Array, Chaos Wave Awakened, Absolute Mirror of Equity, Bolting Strike, and Absolute Zero. She can also chain with almost anyone, kind of like Mastermind Son with Erenius Ring for Chaos Wave Awakened chaining. So she can support chain, basically making her a really versatile unit to bring in your party. She's extremely easy to gear with Magic to Dual Wield and Chain Modifier capped out from the get-go. She also has 50% physical evasion, which makes it easy to gear her for evasion. She's quite bulky as well thanks to her STMR, HP absorb via magic dealt, mitigations, and barriers, and magic evade. Okay, so on top of everything she does, she can also buff all stats by 300%, debuff all stats by 80%. She can also debuff Spirit by 90%, although she can only do it once per battle. She is a great addition to any fire team thanks to her 25% fire, physical, and magic damage ally effects. So take note, this only affects the ally. And 20% fire, physical, and magic damage boost to all allies. So that's not an ally effect, it's just a fire amp skill. Both of these stack with Envy-Terra's Esper fire magic damage boost. Doesn't really work on her abilities because her abilities are physical based. But Infernal Fire Rain's Esper Fire Physical Damage Boost works on her. She can also Imperil Fire by for 135%, so that's really high. Imperil also boosts fire damage with 2 abilities, Ally Area Effect and an Amp skill. So really pairs well with Terra and other fire damage healers. Okay, so I would definitely recommend anyone to pull for her because of the above reasons. I'm personally going to pull for her because of said reasons, and because flexible magic damage healers are hard to find. I think she's the best one for now. Our last one was NVVV, right? He has a imbuable BSLB. But this one, LOUISE, is kind of better than MVVV if you ask me. Okay, so she's also a global original unit, meaning she will be a bonus unit in future global original content, kind of like Starlight Elena and Yoshikiri, King Behmi, etc, etc. So, I think that's it. Hopefully I've convinced you to pull for her. If not, let me know in the comments why you're not pulling for her. Okay, so if you found this helpful, guys, let me know in the comments section if I missed anything. Found this helpful? Consider subscribing to the channel. Also hit the like button and click on the notification bell to get notified when I upload new FFBE videos. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.